Okay, 7th graders, solving multiplication equations, but this time we're going to be solving questions with decimal points in them, alright? So, we're going to review the procedure, and then we're going to practice some with decimals. First of all, the steps. When you have a multiplication equation, it means that you have a number that's being multiplied by a variable, and then that equals whatever's on the other side. Okay? And the first thing you have to do is find the coefficient of the variable. What does the coefficient of the variable mean? That word coefficient, what does that refer to? What does it tell you about the variable? 12n.
How many variables there are?
Yeah, how many of the variable there are? There are 12 n's here. Okay? Or, this also means 12 times n, doesn't it? And that can give you a clue about how to solve it. The coefficient is always the number that is right next to the variable. Sometimes it's a whole number, sometimes it's a fraction, sometimes it's a mixed number, sometimes it is a number with a decimal point in it. Okay? But that coefficient is always just the number that's next to the variable. Alright? With me so far?
Sure.
So, once you find the coefficient of the variable, then you multiply both sides by the reciprocal of the coefficient of the variable. Okay? Now, remember, multiplication and division are kind of the same thing. If you are multiplying by 1/2, it's the same as dividing by 2. So if you have 12 and you multiply it by 1/2, or get half of 12, what do you get? Half of 12 is 6, right? Right?
Yeah.
But if you divide it by 2, that's the same thing. 12 divided by 2 is 6. That's a half 2, right? Okay. Sit down, Max. So, we're going to find the coefficient, and when it's multiplication, you just divide it by that same number. Okay? 12 divided by 12. Because we want to end up with one of the variable. Do you remember this? Do you remember when we did this before? Yeah. So we cross off 12 divided by 12 because 12 divided by 12 is 1. And then we have what we want. 1n, or just n. Okay? So, copy this down. This is the example I want you to copy into your notes. Divide by 12. Cross off the 12s. Write 1n, because 12 divided by 12 is 1. And 1n is the same as n. That's what that means. Okay? Then, go to the other side of the equation. It says multiply by both sides by the reciprocal of the coefficient of the variable. So that means we have to divide this side by 12. We have to do the same thing we did on the other side to get the n by itself. We divide it by 12, so on this side we divide by 12. 60 divided by 12 is 5. And if 1n equals 5, then n equals 5. Right? Logical? Yep. Now, today the problems are going to be very similar to that, but with a decimal point in it. Okay? Look at how similar these questions are. 1.2 and 12,
Wow.
and 6 and 6.0. Right? You see that? Same digits, but this one is 10 times less. If we multiply this by 10, we'd have the same number. So the procedure is the same. Divide by 1.2. So copy that down. And solve this one. 1.2 divided by 1.2 is still 1, so we cross those off. We're left with 1n, which is equal to n. And 1.2 on the other side, 6 divided by 1.2 is the same. Last year we worked on this, on doing the division. And we said that the divisor has to be a whole number when we divide that out. So if we move that over one place, we have the exact same problem, 60 divided by 12. So n equals 5. Yay, math. It's that simple. All right?
Yay!
Multiply by both sides by the reciprocal, the coefficient of the variable. And then check your solution. I fixed that for you. Check your solution. So how do you check? Again, you take the variable and put it in place, or I'm sorry, the solution in place of the variable. That equals 60. And 1.2 times 5 is 6. 1.2 times 5 equals 6. Any questions on this?
No.
I'm going to give you your assignment so that you can work on it. But before we do that, we've got to go through a multiplication equation. All right? Where we start with a division problem. And I'm going to give you this one to do, but it's going to be from your assignment. All right? From page 156. And divided by 2.3 is equal to negative 4.8. Okay. Yep, write this down in your notes. Okay. Now, this is a division equation, n divided by. So we're going to use multiplication to solve it. Put parentheses around the 2.3 and n over 2.3, parentheses around that, so that we can multiply this by something to get n by itself. Some of you have memorized this. Multiply by the denominator. All right? Or, think of it this way. If this is a 1 right here, this is 1n divided by 2.3, and that means the reciprocal of that is 1 on the bottom and 2.3 on the top. Okay, 2.3 over 1 and 1 over 2.3 are reciprocals. They're the fraction flipped over. And that's what you're looking for. Two fractions that are reciprocals of each other equal 1. So then we have our 1n again. That is what we are looking for, people. 1n. We want to get rid of the number that's on the same side as the variable and make it 1. Okay? Then, go to the other side. Put parentheses around that number. And multiply it by 2.3. Now, we could write this as 2.3 over 1 times negative 4.8 over 1. But 1 times 1 is just 1, so we know that we're just multiplying these two numbers to get the answer. Okay? That 1 really doesn't serve us a purpose in this case. So on your calculator, do negative 4.8 times 2.3. You got it, Brett? What is it?
Yeah, 11. Well, negative 11.04.
Yep. Negative 11.04. So 1n is equal to negative 11.04, that means. N is equal to 11.04. And then check your solution with your calculator. But first, write it this way. Negative 11.04 divided by 2.3. Then do the division on your calculator. And make sure that you get negative 4.8. You get it? I get it. Nate?
If we're getting 1n, why can't we just do negative 4.8 times 2.3, because we know we have to get it alone. So why can't we just automatically put 1n there?
Because you have to get rid of the 2.3 on this side. So you have to start on this side to get to 1n. You can't start on this side to get 1n. All right? In order, you're talking about getting 1n, you have to work on the side with n to get 1n. You have to be on that, work on that side first. Alex.
Then, why do we even have to do the left side of the thing if we already know we're just gonna go to the other side?
Literally just.
Oh, you did?
Really?
Yeah, because you have to get to the 1n. You have to prove it.
Wait, well, you already know you're gonna get it.
How?
Because every time the thing's gonna sing.
I do have to get 1n, basically.
Yeah.
One N times one N.
It's like you have to prove it. Okay.
You have to prove.
It's doing the proof that you have 1n.
You just have to prove it.
Okay.
Figure out.
It's just like a lawyer in a courtroom.
You
You
have to
can't just say.
No.
You can't just say.
He's
You
got
Math
to
has
have
nothing
to
to do
prove it.
with being a lawyer.
You have to prove it.
Can I just like,
That's what you're learning how to do is prove it. Okay.
okay, so I'm in the courtroom. Obviously,
Guilty.
because
Yeah.
5 plus 2,
All right.
I have to show my work. So obviously this guy is not guilty. Okay.
No, because